What's up, metalheads? Max Cavalera here, and you're watching Vulgar Display of Podcast. Let's fucking go!
Hi, and welcome to the Vulgar Display of Podcast, live from the Barn Studio. And Anthony is via Zoom right now. We're joined online with the metal icon legend, Max Cavalera. Max, how are we today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Good to be talking to y'all. How y'all
Yep.
doing?
We're doing really
Good,
good.
man.
And even better talking to you. I mentioned off air, we are really big fans, have been a fan of your career since we're young kids. And just really followed your career through all your different bands, all your different projects, the albums, the songs. I mean, it just goes back decades at this point, but you are as busy as ever, it seems like.
Yeah, man. I try to stay busy. I don't really like too much time off. I get kind of crazy when there's not much going on. Like, you know, so I come from a tour. Like, sometimes you're on a tour and you're kind of like, man, this tour is it's taking too long. I can't wait to be home. Then I go home and I'm home 1 week. Like, I need to go back on tour, man. I can't stay home anymore. It's kind of like, like it's wild, but I love what I do, man. And it's like touring is where it's at. I love making records and it's great, but playing them live with the fans, with the energy, with the vibe that you get from a live concert, there's nothing comes close to it, man. Since I was a little kid, and I try to stay young at heart. I think that's maybe to me that's maybe the secret of life. It's like you can get old, but you got to stay a 17-year-old heart at heart. You got to stay young, man. Like in your heart, you keep the metalhead alive in there, and it's all good.
Do you love metal just as much now as you ever have? I think I have a personal opinion that I think metal is in a really good state right now. I love a lot of the American death metal bands that are coming along, and some of which you've toured with, the 200 Stab Wounds, the Frozen Souls, Undeath. I just really like where metal's at right now. Do you agree?
I agree 100%. And we toured with some of them. We Soulfly did a run with 200 Stab Wounds. Go Ahead and Die did a run with Body Box. It was awesome. We got Necrod on this tour with us. Necrod and Dead Heat with us. That's gonna be great. I love it. I mean, there's definitely something wrong with me because I still love metal as much as I did when I was a kid. Um, I should have. When you get people say you get older, you mellow out and you start losing interest. It did not happen to me. So something definitely wrong with me, which is good. I like that.
Max, does it make it easier with being out on the road, especially on this next tour that starts tomorrow, it looks like? Does it make it easier when it's pretty much all family on tour with you?
Well, I kind of been doing like that forever, man. I don't even know it in any other way. Like I've been touring with family uh, for as back as Sepultura days. Gloria was always there. She's been my manager forever, and um, in Sepultura, I used to bring my kids on tour when they were young, and it's cool. I remember one of my coolest memories was Igor and Zion. They were like 3 and 2 years old, and they were sleeping in Ozzy's guitar cases, and Ozzy singing in a back, in the stage, and we were kind of on the side of the stage, and we just put a bunch of blankets. And I watch Ozzy with both of my kids sleeping on top of their guitar cases, man. Like, that's awesome. Like, what a cool memory to have. And now it's even crazier because now I share music with them. I have Igor, my son Igor is playing bass for Cavalera with my brother as well. Starting the tour tomorrow. And then I have Soulfly with Zion, which is really awesome too. Like he's really involved on the new record. The new record is gonna drop sometime this year. Very excited for it. So I really enjoy the. To me, that's like makes me like. To me, that is what success is be able to do what you love with the people that you love. And that is as simple as that. I keep it simple as hell. as simple as it can get. Do what you love with the people that you love, man, and good things will happen. And then that extends to, so it starts with me with in the bands that I like, and then the family around, and then friends, and then fans, and we all become this huge tribe type thing. So it's really cool to, I guess you, I guess I can say it's not even a job. It's a lifestyle. What I do is for life. Kind of like mafia. Once you get in, you can't get out. I joke about that, but it's true. Like, you know, once I discovered metal when I was 13, I never looked back. It was always forward, man, forward. I'm going with this thing. I don't care where it's going. We're gonna go now. It's us against the world, and keep going. And I still feel the same about music, about myself, about the passion. I try not to let the politics of music ruin the spirit of metal, which I think is very important.
Yeah, and I think you're looking at two living proofs of that, right? Because I started my love of metal was back when I'm in 11 and in 12, and my uncle was recording tapes of Metallica and Megadeth and all that, and then I took my own journey through metal and found Sepultura and all these other bands. But here I am, a 43-year-old man, and I can speak for Anthony too, in a professional world, and we're still the metalhead guys.
Exactly.
It's very community. I see a guy with a Gatekeeper shirt on or something at Walmart, and I'm like, hey man, it feels like I know that guy, even though I might not know that guy. It's very communal.
Very communal, very special. It makes you feel like you're part of something that's unique and it's special. Um, and I'm talking about now, like, overall being part of the just the metal movement in general. And you're right. Like when I'm in the airport and I see a guy with if somebody's wearing a nail shirt or a Celtic Frost shirt, I give him the horns up, man. And sometimes he don't even know who I am, and he didn't recognize me. And that's cool. It's awesome. I just want to give him the horns up. You're representing metal. Um, One of the coolest things also that happens is sometimes traveling. Sometimes we go to places like Australia and Japan and Europe, and sometimes promoters, like, they sometimes they put you in what's my jiggy business section of the plane, and we're all dressed up. We got our battle vest and fucking torn up jeans, and you got all these rich ass people looking at you like, what the fuck is going on here? Who the fuck is these guys? What is these guys doing here? And I love that, man. It's like the culture shock to these people, man. But it's cool. It's like we represent metal wherever we go, man. Anywhere.
Yeah, Max, are you rediscovering some of that, some of those passions from the past with some of these re-recordings you guys are doing now?
Yeah, I call it nostalgic brutality. Because that's what it is. It comes down to just that. It's as simple as that. Um, because it takes me, it does two things. It takes me back to those days when those records were made, which was cool. It was a community of metal back in Brazil. Us and our friends. It felt like it was us against the world. When we were making, Bestial Devastation, Morbid Visions, Schizophrenia. That's before Beneath the Remains and the other stuff that got Sepultura bigger. So it takes me back to that time, that movement, all those feelings, but also it puts me in right now today, like enjoying that. And I think I feel so lucky to be a musician that can actually do that, because I have a career that I can actually enjoy both things. I can enjoy the past, the present, and the future. And what I'm referring to is, the past, I get to do it with my brother, and I get to play these amazing records that were done in the 80s, and we re-record them to make them sound even better, and we get to play them for an hour and a half of brutality that people just love the nostalgic feeling of it. And then I have the present, the future are things like Soulfly, Go Ahead and Die, Killer BQ, all the other projects that I do. So I'm lucky that I get to do that. I create new music, but I also enjoy the stuff I done years ago, which is really cool. Sometimes artists they turn their back on their past, and then they'll look it back. I think you gotta always remember where all this started, where all this became something special. And those records are, especially this tour where we're playing the whole Schizophrenia. That album is a gateway record for us, man. It opened so many doors. It's the record I got us signed with Roadrunner. They got us to do Beneath the Remains. So I'm very close. I have a attachment to Schizophrenia in general, and sonically talking, it's a badass record. It's that mix of death metal and thrash, just done to like perfection, And playing it live now with good gear, with good sound, just sounds amazing. We rehearsal last night, and I have a buddy of mine that came. He's been a fan for like 30 years, and he got emotional. He's like, dude, this is like it brought me back when I first saw you guys in Michigan back in the 80s. I thought that was really really special. So all those things are cool. And then I think like a tour like this that we have like Necrot and Dead Heat also bring the young new fans of the music as well. The young fans that are into the new stuff, Gay Creeper, 200 Stab Wounds, and all that. Um, they get to see where all of those bands got their influences from, because everybody drank from the early Seppo stuff, because it was a good fountain to drink from it. So it's really cool, man. It's really cool to be part of something so special like this.
And you mentioned like the younger generation embracing you, right? Because I know even like maybe back in like November, December, you joined Nails on stage for a couple old Sepultura songs, and that happens a lot. I know you get featured on a lot of live performances like that. Does that mean something to you?
Yeah, it's very special, man. It's one of those kind of like moments, kind of like that you realize just how pivotal those songs were for a lot of people. And it's cool to see the um, just to feel the excitement that they create on a different environment. Like it's I was invited to be part of the Nails show at the Belasco, and I didn't know what to expect. It's like I know I was gonna do two songs with them. With Territory was one of them. But the minute I got on that stage and I just felt the rush of energy and the crowd, it was a cool moment. It was a very exciting, special one. Kind of like I did that one with also with Mike Patton, with Mr. Bungle on a festival in Ohio, for the Sonic Temple Festival. And that was cool too. That was amazing. I love jam sessions. I'm a jam session kind of musician. You guys could probably tell that from my records. I have a lot of guests on all the Sepultura stuff, all the Soulfly stuff. To me, music metal is meant to be um, share, man. You gotta share with your friends, kind of like a good drink or a good drug. You pass it around. So anytime I get a chance to do a performance live with friends and bands that I like, I'm always excited for it, man. It's always cool, and it's fun, man. It's fun to be part of something like some of those moments.
Both those performances that you're talking about, you did it without a guitar. Does that feel sort of foreign to you in a way, or does it feel a little bit more freeing? Like you literally didn't have your guitar, right? Where you can just be
Yeah,
you and the mic and the crowd. Do you like that, or does it just feel so unnatural to you?
it feels all right. I think I would have turned out to be a okay frontman without a guitar. But I like the guitar. Like I enjoy playing the guitar with the music. With all the bands that I do, with Go Ahead and Die, Killer BQ, Soulfly, Cavalera, but those were like more like jam sessions, so I kind of like don't mind. I kind of let my kind of like hardcore uh, max out, more like just go out there and raise hell with the mic and jump around and just feel the music, like really more like a fan actually than a musician actually, uh yeah. But yeah, if I prefer with the guitar, but it doesn't bother me. It's always cool. It's fun to also just have a mic and just raise hell with the microphone and jump around. It anything like that, it's fun as long as the situation is right, and I've done a lot of these jams with different bands. Even in our tours, we a lot of times we do stuff. I think we did a really cool jam. It was with the Full of Hell guys and Incantation. We did Venom, black metal, and that was cool. That was a really awesome jam. Um, and I always look forward to do jams like that. Maybe we can, make one happen on this tour. Maybe with the Necro guys, we can make something happen for this next run. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I love that. You mentioned Killer Be Killed a few times. I love Killer Be Killed. I think Anthony does as well. Is there any Killer Be Killed update? I know you're busy. I know you're writing records and you're touring and you're a busy guy. But is there any kind of future plans with Killer Be Killed?
Yeah, man. I definitely love to make create our third record. Um, I really enjoyed the last one. Uh, I think it was more involved and it was more thought out than the first one. Um, so I think the third one is going to be even more special. Whenever I get together with those guys, they're all as busy as me,
Right. Yeah.
Troy and Greg. So the problem with Killer BQ is just time. It's find time to do it. But eventually we will find time and we get something. Like I said, I am right now on the early stages of the Soulfly record, like recording, writing, and we definitely will have a Soulfly record out in this year, which is great. I'm very excited for it. But yeah, we will have another Killer BQ, but maybe not till next year.
Well, tomorrow starts the Third World Trilogy U.S. tour. Tomorrow, you're kicking it off tomorrow. It's actually at Maynards, at his venue, right out in Arizona.
Yeah, it's in Cottonwood, which is a little town. So I did the show at the Pussifer store last year with Go Ahead and Die, and it sold out in like an hour. And it was like in a record store. And it was awesome. It was so underground. It was it was so crazy, man. It was like no drum riser. I think tomorrow is a little bit more like a real venue.
Yeah.
But it's a small show. I think there's only like uh 200 people or something. Um yeah, my wife is really good friends with Jan. She's Maynard's wife, and they talk all the time. And we set up this show to kind of like almost like a rehearsal kind of show to break the ice. So then we go into the bigger venues like the Belasco and House of Blues and the other ones. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. We already got all the songs set up, and the set list sounds incredible. It's just a ball of energy. It's full of just it's a riff fest, man. It's it's crazy. So many riffs are in this show. Even I sometimes get overwhelmed. Like, holy shit, that's a lot of riffs. To even to remember all that, it's crazy. But yeah, it's super excited. I don't know if Maynard and those guys are gonna be there, but maybe maybe they'll be there. I don't know, but it's cool. It's cool that it's there. It's a small show. It's gonna be a punk rock vibe, and then we will tear it down all across America after that. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And then we have like a pretty busy summer in front of us with a lot of touring.
Third World Trilogy Tour. We're going to be catching it March 6th at Indianapolis at the Vogue. Can't wait for that. You also, I want to mention your coffee, Max and Igor Cavalera's official Blood Brothers coffee. We actually have some on the way, and we're going to do a review of it. So we're excited about that. And lastly, I want to shout out just the tribe in general. Thanks to Gloria. Thanks to Annie for setting this up. And we really appreciate your time today, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys for everything. It's good as coffee too, by the way, man. That's some good shit.
Can't wait to
Strong.
try it.
Yeah, it's strong. Get your ready for the day the right way, man. And yeah, I wanna you thank you guys, man, for supporting metal, for doing what you do. Keep going, you know. And yeah, I'll see you in Indianapolis, man. Enjoy the show. It's gonna be a brutal, like I say, brutal, nostalgic brutality, brother. That's the name of it.
We're there for it. Thanks so much, Max.
All right, take care, man. See
Thank
you
you.
guys.